Ball pushed out to Davis for a three. Count it. Hackworth finishes with the one-handed dunk. There's Hackworth once again, goes to the baseline, and he says, nobody can stop me. Two. I did. I coached him for a little while. Mosley lines up three. Hey, let it rain. Mosley for three. All right, goes into Hackworth. Looks to go to the basket. Nobody can deny him. All right, King kicks the ball out to Mosley for three. Count it. Ball's dropped off to no one but a Tiger. All right, King. Hackworth in the corner. Don't get it to him. Try it this time. Yep, they knew he was going to shoot it. They just didn't know when to give it to him. Trotter still trying to find that three. It does. So, Coach Samuel, definitely, I saw you guys starting to hit their stride. So, what do you think is causing that to happen right now?
Just reps, man. We're getting it in day by day, 1%, each day. We come in and go to work. We're making sure we're working on the things that we're not good at, and we're making sure we strengthen up the things that we are good at. So it's just every day coming to work.
What I saw today also was a breath of fresh air. My guy Mosley, I saw him become a little more aggressive. Have you been saying anything to him? Because I kind of been watching him defer a little bit, and I want to see him go out there and get it done.
No, most definitely. I told him, what the people have been saying about him not looking like he did last year, him not playing as hard as he did. And when I told him to it, he took it personal, and he said it'll never happen again. So, just night in, night out, I'm just looking forward to him coming out here and being who he is.
Tell me a little bit about Donald Hackworth. I just get amazed every time I see the big guy on the court. Tell me a little bit about him, Coach. Tell me what you like about him.
He's a good kid. First and foremost, good kid. Langston he's just one of them kids that you love to have on your team. You know what I mean? You can challenge him. He'll stand up to it. He don't never take anything personal. Just a good kid to coach, man. The three ball's always good. As you see, he's been working on his interior game a little bit, getting more physical. So it's always good to see him show more skill than he had before.
So I tell you what, I definitely can see him playing at the next level. What does he need to make that turn for the next level basketball?
Well, I always tell him his motor. He got to always have his motor turned on, night in and night out. And as far as defending hard, running your lanes hard, rebounding real hard, he just got to keep that motor. And I think if he keep that motor, sky's the limit for him.
I tell you what, I've been definitely privileged to cover you guys, man, and I can see you all going deep in the playoffs, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you, though.
Man, we appreciate y'all, every night coming out. Looking forward to y'all being here tomorrow. I always go back and listen to the commentary to see what I can tighten up on when I come sit down with you. So it's been good.
Yes, sir, Coach, but I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck.
Appreciate you all. And by the way, I like Jackson tomorrow.
All right.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for sticking and staying with SSB Sunshine State Broadcasting. Thanks to our sponsor, First Baptist Church of Orange Park, Pastor David Tarkington. And of course, if you are a business owner, a parent, if you want to support us, hey, just get in touch with us. We'd love to have you on board. Courtney Wallace here along with LaTroy Strong, bringing you the commentary on this one. The consolation game of the NorthWest Classic. 1.5 is already in the books. We're getting ready for the second half. Strong, what are you looking forward to in this one?
I can tell you what, I know when both teams went back to the halftime, I know Coach and First Coach was talking to his team about ball control and not turning the ball over as much. I think that's the first thing, because if you look at some of the turnovers that they have, they could be up 5, 6, 7 points by now if they control the ball a little better. And on the other side, I know Coach Showers told his guys, man, we got to put the ball in the basket. That's the biggest thing. We're getting to the basket. We're athletic. We're getting position to make the good shots. They're just not falling for us. So at some point in time, we got to make sure that we either make a bucket or get fouled to go to the free throw line.
All right. And of course, we're getting ready for the big one. Andrew Jackson, the host, playing Reigns.
I tell you what, I posed some of the people in the audience, man. I got some Reigns fans here, so trying to figure out what's going on, so the tides are kind of turned in their home gym, so it's going to be interesting.
Yep, and of course, we did remind you that the Reigns people, they're saying, hey, they run the North, so it'll be a good time to see what happens.
Definitely. So here we go.
But you know what I like about this one, though, Strong? It's close. In boxing, we say styles make matches. I think both teams have similar style. They're pretty much even so far, as the scoreboard suggests. So, hey, we could be in for an exciting one.
Definitely. Keep it close, and let's get the crowd involved and say it's an exciting game.
All
right, Brandon McCoy goes to the basket. A little out of control there. Controlled by Russell. Russell moves the push. Quick pass in the beard. Comes back to Neo. Neo's has his position shot. Doesn't go well for him. Thompson, quick rebound. Blocked by Hall. Blocked by Dortch. Sorry. Dortch controls the rebound. Blank trip there for First Coast. Ribault looks to make something happen. I love to Dortch. Dortch over to Simmons, and he likes that spot, but doesn't get the shot. Beard fights for the rebound. Looks for a guard to get the ball to, but he can handle it, so he brings it down. Turns the ball right over for no reason, like to try to go to Neo with it, and athletic Brandon McCoy's there and misses the layup, but gets pushed by 0-0 Neo Echeverria.
Well, he went for a pass, a cross-court pass, to the shorter player with a taller player in front of him.
And it was such a soft pass, too. I mean, he really didn't have any kind of power on it at all. And he had a teammate right there in front of him, which makes it even worse.
Right in front of him, yep. And we're not going to flog a dead horse, but again, that's one of the mistakes that, like you speak of, it makes you pull your hair out.
Definitely. And then we go right back to the other end, and we talk about Ribault's Achilles heel. Missed 2 layups, and then now he misses a free throw. I mean, that's 5 points.
But if I might say this, though, that is exactly why this game is so even.
Correct. Yep. They're consistent at least, right?
Yep.
All right, missed both of them. Rebound cleared by Beard. Gets the ball to Harris. Harris decides he's going to go ahead and bring it up the court. Great matchup at top. Harris versus Love. Love's very good defender. Very tenacious. All right, Russell versus Simmons. Turns the corner. Finds the big guy there. Drop pass to Caleb Thompson. Head fake twice. They get the 2. Tie ball game.
And that's exactly what First Coast needs.
I tell you what, Caleb Thompson, man, has been a project for me. He kind of backed up the big guy last year. Learned a lot. Brandon McCoy lines a 3 up, and he gets it. He shot it with confidence. Looked good when it left his hands. But Caleb's one that I figured he's just 11th grade as well. He's going to get better and better. All right, ball goes to Russell at 3-point line. Head fake. Looks to go in, kicks it out over to Neo for the 3 in front of the rim. Brandon McCoy clears, kicks it out long to Roderick Love. Looks to be aggressive, going to the basket, nothing doing. Caleb Thompson finds Harris. Harris kicks it out to JoJo Russell. No good on the 3. Harris says, nothing doing. He's just going to throw it up. Hits the front of the rim. All right, rebound ball. Brandon McCoy comes down. Calls for his guard to come up so he can set something. First Coast in the 2-3 zone. Brandon McCoy pulls up at the 12-foot area and cans it. Now that could be scary for First Coast. If he gets going, it could be a long night.
Indeed.
I tell you what, I do see where Ribault does miss Ian Buford. Downhill basketball player, kind of a hybrid. Does a little bit of everything. Harris, head fake. Caleb Thompson knocks it out of bounds. Sub coming in. Both Styles and Howard.
But let me ask you though, if a coach takes out a Buford for the reason I stated before, does it do something to the other players? Let them know, hey, we need to step up or else.
But you know what? With this generation, you have no clue. Just the proof is in the pudding. You'll see what happens. And, you know, in years past, you would say absolutely. It should be like next man up, the guy who's come off the bench. This is my opportunity to shine a little bit. But you never know. This generation, they're different.
Built differently.
All right, Simmons looks to go to the basket, turns the corner, gets fouled by number 3, Russell. All right, 4 minutes, 59 seconds on the game clock. Brandon McCoy has it. Looks to go quickly to Simmons. Great defense by Howard. Takes away the baseline. Love at the three-point line. Sizes up Styles. Feels like he's ready to take it with a quick crossover. Pulls up 2.
Good shot.
Much better looking Ribault team right now.
And that's it. You know, you see glimpses of a good team, and you just wonder why not be consistent with that.
That's it. It's about shooters. You know, it's when you get a streak, when things are going well, what happens?
Right.
All right, Beard calls for Russell to get it. He gets it, and it looks to be aggressive, but nothing happened. Blocked by 2 players from Ribault, Dortz and Hall. Love looks to push backdoor cut to McCoy, who's blocked by Styles. He's the first coach to shot blocker. Neal looks to go to bounce pass into Howard. Howard finishes left-hand layup 2. All right, balls advance quick to Brandon McCoy. Goes to the basket, muscles up. Double pump and gets fouled by Russell. Russell second.
In quick succession.
At the halfway point of the third quarter, First Coast is up to 3 team fouls already. Ribault 0. All right, Brandon McCoy to the free throw line to shoot 2. Makes the first. All right, Wilson comes back in for Simmons for the Trojans.
But you know, interesting. Last night we saw, you know, the second half of both games being like watered down to almost nothing. Tonight, this game, second half is pretty much consistent with the first.
Definitely, both teams are pretty much playing the same way they were. I know the coaches would like to see it. I see Ribault has cleaned it up a little bit though, more so than First Coast has.
And it tells in the score they're 6 points up.
Yes, and has the momentum at the same time.
Right.
Because First Coast is still trying to figure it out. All right, Beard goes to the basket, left-hand layup, no good. Nice pass from Neal. Hall looks to go up, double pump, left-hand layup. That's his game. First Coast needs a timeout. Talk about it. 3 minutes, 28 seconds on the game clock, third quarter. Northwest Classic. Game 1, Consolation.
And you're absolutely right. The momentum right now is with Ribault.
All right, we talked about Ian Buford. And what I'm saying about him is this game has become strictly a downhill game, just up and down, up and down, up and down, and that is his game. I think last night he got caught up trying to do some different things because Reigns made it uncomfortable for him.
Right.
All right, Ribault comes down into a full court man. And we have a turnover by First Coast. I thought it was a foul, but I guess it wasn't. Called a travel. I think the full court pressure caught him off guard. All right, ball stolen right back. Howard can't control it, but gets the ball at to Neo. Echeverria finds his partner. Russell kicks it out to the three-point line. Great defense by Ribault.
And that there shows homework done.
Yes, they know he wants to shoot 3.
Yep.
They took that away. But he got on the other side. Hard off the back of the rim. Controlled by Zion Hall. He's a ball handler too, so he's going to bring it up. He sees he has a mismatch. Looks to go to the basket and gets fouled by number 10, Zakias Beard.
Gets clattered, actually.
Clobber, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, to knock a big guy like that down, you definitely should. And he got hit pretty hard.
Exactly, but he's a tough kid also.
Definitely a tough kid.
He will take it.
No doubt. Goes to the free throw line to shoot 2. First coach once again, 4 team fouls here. All right, gets the roll for that one. Looks to shoot the second one. So every foul from now on, first coast, double bonus.
And now they're really sinking deeper and deeper into it as the lead is building.
Lead is building. You make this one, it makes it double figures.
There you go.
All right, 10-point lead, Ribault.
And exactly where First Coast didn't want to find themselves.
There it is, full court, man to man.
And then you do something like that.
Well, Coach Showers actually did what most coaches would do. What did Jackson do to win by 40-plus points last night? Oh, full court pressure.
Yep. Make it uncomfortable for them.
Yep, definitely. Which is interesting because last night the pressure is not what hurt First Coast. It hurt because they got out of control and they also were uncomfortable. All right, got a wild shot taken by Zion Hall right there, but contested by Styles. And then Howard turns the ball back over. And this is what happened last night. First Coast got out of control, started trying to move too fast. Good spin move by Zion. Count it. 12-point lead.
And again, like you said, he's probably not having the complete game, but any game from Zion where he's scoring, rebounding, stealing, is going to be a good game.
Here we go. First Coast getting help to Skelter. Long 2-pointer by Neil Echeverria. No good. Styles cleans it up. Throws up a floater. Does not get it. And Beard fights for the rebound. Has a shot blocked by Dortch, but they call a foul.
And the problem for First Coast here is they just don't know where the basket is anymore.
That's it. I mean, I think that Ribault has sped them up to the point where they're still trying to figure it out.
Well, here's the easiest look you can get.
Free throws.
Yep.
Hopefully they capitalize from the first half and continue with some good shooting from the free throw line.
Good looking one.
All right, Wills comes in for Chase Dortch. All right, we got blood. All right, they get a certain amount of time, and if not, they get a sub.
And like we did point out before, the gym here is steadily filling up.
Steadily filling up, yes. I think we might call full to capacity even before game time.
Even before game time.
All right, First Coast decided to go with the sub, and they sent in Devin Deloney to shoot a second shot. Good situation for free throws, hopefully. But he's not a post player, and he's replacing a post player. All right, Deloney helps him bring him back to just a 10-point lead for Ribault. Roger Loves brings it down, sets up his team. First Coast in the 2-3 zone with the jump. Wills gets it at the free throw line, looks to go hard. Zion back to Roderick. He had a turnover, ball thrown baseline, and he's screaming at his teammate, cut baseline, because it was wide open.
All right. Wait, for some reason, I'm not mad at that.
Me neither. And even Coach Showers has said, but you can't throw it if he doesn't go.
Right.
All right, First Coast beats the pressure. Harris gets blocked off at the baseline. Goes back out to Russum. Looks to jump stop. Styles steps back into the 3. No good.
And again, can't find the basket.
Rebound by Wilson. Push the ball up the court. Roderick Love gets manhandled by Harris, but he gets free. And Russum on the grab. Double bonus. Shooting 2. Wilson for Ribault.
And you know, just about everything so far in this third quarter spells trouble for First Coast.
Yeah, it seemed to be a lid on the basket. They started off, very well, but then the last 4 minutes or so have not been able to put the ball in the basket whatsoever.
Still have not gotten out of the 30s this third quarter.
Definitely, and it's all set up with Coach Showers making the transition and going into the full court man-to-man. Wilson makes the first. All right, Brandon McCoy to return to the game. 1 minute, 20 seconds on the game clock here in the third quarter. Northwest Classic, game one.
Ribault versus First Coast.
All right, rims out on the second one. Ball controlled by Styles. All right, Harris has the ball, and Wilson, great job of keeping it out of his strong hand. Goes to Neo. Neo turns the corner, goes to bounce past the Russell inside. Can't control it. Turnover, First Coast. All right, 58 seconds. Big crossover by Zion. Goes to the basket, gets fouled by Devin Deloney up high.
And we know what that means.
Free throws.
Yep.
All right, 54.7 seconds on the game clock. And to tell you what, I think that Coach Showers has said to his team, hey guys, attack, attack, attack.
All right.
Good looking shot there.
Man, we said before, Zion Hall looks a different player tonight. Seems to have gotten within himself, and he's just playing some basketball.
Definitely. I would tell you, he's not a back-to-back bad game guy. I mean, he may have one bad one, but the next game comes back and he looks like a basketball player once again.
Yep.
All right, front of the rim, no good. All right, 50 seconds on the game clock. 50 and counting. All right, ball's thrown airy, but it ends up in Devin Deloney's hand. Front of the rim. Ball bounces to Wills from Ribault. He looks to push, go all the way. Left hand scoop.
No good.
Rebound. Styles. 30 seconds. 29 on the game clock. Harris goes to a strong hand. No rim roll for him as well. Will snatches it. He's gone. All right, gets the ball over to Wilson. Wilson looks at the clock, sees what he has. 15 seconds on the shot on the game clock. Zion on the baseline, 12 seconds. He sees the mismatch, looks to go to the basket, gets pushed once again by Devin Deloney.
You know, as we approach the end of this third quarter, if I was First Coast, I'd go to the officials and I'd complain, man.
Complain about?
A different rim.
A different rim.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, that's
just not working out.
That's a new one, I tell you. Haven't heard that one before.
Yeah. It's interesting though. The rim has been there all game long.
All game long.
Hasn't moved, but you still can't find it.
Can't find it. All right, Zion Hall sets up and gets the roll.
He knows where it is.
There he is. All right, 15-point lead now for Ribault High School. 7.9 on the game clock. Looks to finish up the third quarter.
And Zion will sit out the rest of this one. Put in a good shift in the third quarter.
Smart move, yes.
Yeah. So they need him down the stretch to close it out.
All right, First Coast having problems getting the ball in bounds. Good hustle. 6 seconds, game clock. Brandon McCoy off the glass. Soft touch. 1 second, but almost stolen again by Wills. First Coast is just totally out of kilter here, and their heads are starting to slump, which is not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
All right, going into the fourth quarter. Ribault 52. First Coast 35. We'll see you in a minute.
All right, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, First Baptist Church of Orange Park.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
All right, back with you here for the fourth quarter of this one. Consolation game. Ribault versus First Coast, and so far it has all been Ribault at least for the third quarter, heading now into the fourth, and they're looking good for the Consolation win here tonight, LaTroy.
Definitely. Ribault started to set the nails up in the coffin during that third quarter. Really started to pour it on. Went to a full court pressure, gave First Coast a whole lot of problems from there. All right, well, we're back at it, though. Fourth quarter.
And you know, the bad thing for First Coast is that they're also too many self-inflicted wounds.
Yes, we talked about the turnovers, but then we talked about the missed layups, and they definitely went to a shooting lull where they couldn't put the ball in the basket. All right, Harris once again hits the ball, pushes the ball out to Russell, sets up for a three in front of the rim. Wills once again gets rebounded. He's on the push. I like this guy. Quick pass into Brandon McCoy for two.
Yep.
And that's the other thing with Ribault in their transition. They are team players with the transition as well.
Yep.
All right, Beard says he's the point guard. He's bringing the ball down the floor. Goes into Russell again. Gives up for the three-pointer. Decides he's going baseline. Gets fouled. Colton Stafford on the block.
You know, last night for the fourth quarter with First Coast against Jackson, we said damage control. That's pretty much where they are tonight.
That's it. You know, they did. They never quit in that game, so they're still going hard now. Beard's tripping on the other side. Got number 14 for Ribault High School. All right, things. They still running the clock. Not sure why, but nobody noticed it. All right, turnover once again. Handoff by Caleb Thompson to Neo Echeverria could not be handled. Rebound ball. All right, Wilson up top, probes, see what he wants to do. He has Neo and kind of felt like it was a mismatch, but decided elsewhere. Brandon McCoy up top calls for a high pick and roll. Comes off of it, gets to the free throw line. His spot did not fall, but gets his own rebound, head fake, and finishes. We talked about at the beginning in the third quarter when he came out and scored a quick 5 points that it could be rough on First Coast if McCoy starts going.
Yep.
Turnover, Russell. Once again, McCoy up top. Easy layup in the fast break. Starting to get out of hand now.
You know, and I like how you're saying technical. You're calling it a turnover. It's more like a giveaway.
It was
it's almost like here, you can have it.
That's it. Cardinal sin. He never jumped the pass.
Yeah.
He jumped and didn't have anyone to pass it to. And just like Ribault had been doing thus far, as soon as they got the ball, they looked up the court, threw it long for an easy layup.
All right, we're looking here at our coach Showers, having a talk to his players. For some reason, I get the feeling it's not so much a strategy talk, it's more a pep talk. Hey, just keep going, because at this point in time, there's not much more that he needs to do.
That's it. You talk about the game plan, which they executed the game plan in the second half to the T. They came out, went under full court pressure, caused problems with First Coast not being able to kind of get settled, understand what was going on with them, caused them to miss a lot of shots, and then turned into a lot of fast breaks points. And at that point in time, obviously that was what they wanted done, and he was kind of reinforcing that during that timeout.
Yep. So now it's basically just keep doing what you're doing and play out the 6 minutes of this game.
And let the clock tick. That's what they want. All right, once again, Ribault was in more of a token pressure that time. First Coast against it. Styles looks to go to the basket, and once again, just turns the ball over. Out of bounds. Ribault ball. First Coast steps out to a full court man. And Wills looks to go. Blocked by Styles. Controlled by Harris. Looks to give it up. Does not. Goes one-on-one and misses the layup. But luckily, Russell's there to clean his mistakes up.
And finally, they score a basket. I mean, it's been a while since they've gotten the ball through the net.
Yes, they did. And that one was not pretty at all. All right, strong finish by Wilson. Over Beard. All right, Neo. Moving too fast. Teammate wasn't going with him. Turnover. First Coast. Kind of sound like a broken record here. Turnover. First Coast.
Yeah, well, that was one of them plays that, when you have a team that's on song, when everybody is on the same page, it will look good. Not this First Coast team that we've seen tonight.
Not right there.
That was not the pass.
And the worst part about it was I just wish he had went up for the layup. I felt like he was in there. Nobody really to contest him, but chose to do something different.
Yeah.
All right, First Coast come down to pressure, but Ribault easily beats it. Zion got caught up on the wrong side. Reverse layup miss. Now here's one guy who won't slow down if he doesn't have to. Mr. Howard gets the ball up the beard, swinging over to Russell. Russell pulls up inside the paint. Does not get it. Styles fights for rebound, but can't control. Wills push once again. Looks to go by himself, but there's his teammate, Brandon McCoy, to clean it up.
The second chance points, you need them.
And I tell you what, I like the fact that Brandon actually gave his teammate a high five there just then. Almost sounded like, hey, great miss. You know, helped himself out.
Yes, sir.
All right, First Coast once again falling down. Turn the ball over off the missed shot. Goes to Ribault.
So it would have been one thing if they complained about the rim. Now they need to complain about the ball.
And the ball, the rim,
way too hot for them.
Court, the shot clock, a little bit of everything. All right, here's that young man I've been bragging about all day. Nice pass into Zion, who catches it and gets fouled. By number 10, Zacchaeus Beard.
And I guess, this is one of them games when you get to see a different side of Ribault. It's a game that you're really under no pressure. You're winning the game, so now you can play basketball. You can just play the ball, whatever strategies you want to use, you're at will.
Most definitely. I think, that first quarter, they still were kind of trying to find themselves from the loss yesterday, Ian Buford not being in the game. But then they realized, we can beat this team. And they just turned it on and never took their foot off the gas.
Yep. And of course, First Coast has not been able to match them.
Definitely have not been able to match them since the middle of the second quarter. Yep. All right, Howard gets trapped up. No one's there to help. Beard finally controls it. Goes up top. Russell just errantly throws it. Turnover. Brandon McCoy loses out of bounds. Ball will stay with Ribault. 4 minutes, 24 seconds on the game clock.
And again, First Coast still not able to bring anything under control.
Wow, alley-oop setup for Zion Hall, just a little short, but there's that guy again. Brandon McCoy picks up the loose ball, goes for the reverse layup and gets fouled. Foul 24, Bernard Thomas.
And here we go. A miss. A spectacular miss has woken up the crowd.
I tell you what, man, if he had caught that, I think the whole crowd would have left out and then came back in.
It would have been pandemonium.
Yes, that would have been nasty.
Yep.
All right, McCoy still feeling the heat, and he's making shots. All right, Seth Bain comes in for Bernard.
And again, it's good to see McCoy playing his game and just looking relaxed.
Absolutely. Got two guys that really kind of shine tonight. And definitely McCoy and Zion had a very good opportunity to kind of get themselves rolling.
Yep.
Get back into where they were. All right, McCoy finishes 2. All right, McCoy gets a break. Tells his coach, I don't need a break, but he understands.
And why would he?
Why would he? Yeah. All right, Josiah Russell comes down the sideline, throws the ball into the post area to nobody.
Throws it away. I mean, it's just interesting when these things, it's one thing to see it happen every now and again, but then it plagues the team throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the decision making right now. It's just not happening. All right, got a scrum going on. Wilson comes out with it. Get caught up on the sideline. Poked out of bounds by Josiah Russell.
And I like the way you call it a scrum. Yeah. Sounds more like rugby.
Yes, a few times. Yeah. Seem to have happened that. All right, 3 minutes, 53 seconds. Ball control up top by Love. Zion sees a mismatch and takes advantage of it, but he misses the layup. All right, Jaden Howard comes out with the ball, trying to take on the whole Ribault staff, and he gets the foul.
I tell you something, expect something spectacular from Zion.
If he stays in, I think Coach may sub him out. Time to get his stars on the bench.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the one-on-one was for,
Exactly
to let him know this is
happened.
your last opportunity.
So there'll be no spectacular. You missed it.
That's it. now you're rested.
Yep. Snooze, you lose.
All right, 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the game clock. All right, Neil calls for a high screen. Seth Bain, nothing doing. Great defense. And then drops it down. No one's there. Out of bounds. Turnover.
Yeah, I think they've lost the mental part of the game.
Definitely. It has left the building, and now they're just trying to get the time to keep ticking. All right, Wilson goes in, kicks it out to Love. Love surveys. He has a big guy inside, but he wants to make something happen himself. Has the opportunity, gets it back to Woods. Woods throws up a three-pointer. Devin Deloney finds it, corrals it in. Jaden Howard, nice crossover move.
You know what? He didn't want that rebound. He did not want that ball coming to him.
But I tell you what, Coach Showers is about to pull off of this full court pressure because these guys are just fouling him for no reason. All right, gets another one of his starters who didn't start today out of the game. Got all reserves in right now. But you got the lead to do it. 2 minutes, 47 seconds on the game clock.
And a massive lead to boot.
Massive lead, yes. All right. Goes to that guy, Wills again. He kicks it over to his teammate. Woods finishes on the layup. We talk about that transition teamwork there. I love it. All right, Jaden Howard just throws the ball, but Deloney is able to corral it. Up top is Neo. He got 3 black jerseys around him. All right, for whatever reason, he tried to do a look-away pass. Nothing doing. Stolen by Ribault. And they're pushing. Kick the ball out to Woods. Lines up to 3. Hard off the rim. This time he's going to go. He pushes over to Woods. Woods lines the 3s up. Hard off the rim. Colton Stafford with a strong rebound. And finish for 2. All right, Neil Chevalier goes to the basket with a layup.
Is there a reason why he hasn't been doing that all game long?
He keeps trying to dish the ball off for whatever reason. You know, he's been there. It's
Some
been there.
strange dishes, you know.
Yes.
I don't even know where he gets to cook those.
And it's been there. All right, no. Aaron 3 again. Colton Stafford's down there fighting with Seth Bain. And guess what? It ends up in Woods' hands again for the offensive rebound putback. All right, Devin Deloney for a long 3. Soft but no good. All right, so the 4 first go, free ball runs. Colton Stafford can't handle it. Gets the ball to Neo. Chevalier, a minute and 7 seconds on the clock. And Neo runs out, but goaltending called up on the rim. All right, 1 minute, 4 seconds remaining in this game. Ribault ball coming down. Coach Showers called for a certain number. Looks like he want to get him some points, get him in the books. All right, comes back to Woods. Woods sees an opening, goes past, jumps into Seth Bain, no call, but it's cleaned up there. Colton Stafford. All right, ball almost stolen up underneath the basket. Jaden Howard does figure out a way to get out of it, but turns it over. All right, Wills with the left hand finish. He's been looking to do that all game long. All right, timeout called by Ribault High School, 30 seconds. Savion Wills gets the dunk, and I tell you what, we needed that in this atmosphere right now to get everything hyped up, to get set up for the championship game. Reigns,
and you know what?
Jackson.
The crowd has been waiting for something.
The crowd has definitely been waiting. They've been sitting down with their hands underneath their legs, and they just looking for something to cheer about.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of sad that your team is winning, but you're not overly excited because, you know, it has become so pedestrian and so easy.
Well, the reality of your plan for third place right now kicks in.
Yeah.
Because if you have this kind of intensity and this kind of basketball on last night, you're now playing for a championship.
Exactly.
right, 24 seconds on the game clock. 24 seconds. All right, Ribault just sits back and asked for First Coast to just not shoot the ball anymore. Echeverria gets it to Devin Deloney. Devin Deloney almost turns the ball over, but Howard says he's just going to keep it in his hand this time. Comes back to Neo. 6 seconds on the clock. Hits the long three.
Is that his first since the first quarter?
Yes. A little too late, but it's in. All right, final score. First Coast 42. Ribault 76. Consolation game goes to Ribault High School, which is a good win for them, but kind of a hollow victory.
Indeed. Like you just said, for what happened last night, and you see a game like this tonight, you say, well, where were you last night?
Definitely. They really feel like they should have been playing for the championship game.
Yep. And it hurts, forgive me for going back again, but it hurts if you look at the game they played with Jackson 2 weeks ago. This hurts even more if I was a Ribault fan.
Well, the interesting part about that, and I do want to go back to that Jackson game where they played very closely. Ian Buford did not play a lot in that game. I'm not sure, was he hurt or what was going on? And him not being here tonight, I did see a different type of Ribault.
Indeed. Well, this one is in the books. I don't know, Strong, how much more we can say about this one. One team just really did not show up for the game in the second half, just totally disappeared. And, that's what we have. The 6-42 game.
Definitely. I really feel like First Coast deficiencies are starting to show up, especially against more athletic teams, and that's what happened these last 2 nights.
And in a rivalry game, I mean, this hurts even more, right?
Rivalry game, yeah, just couldn't get up for it.
All right. Well, that's it for this one. I want to say thanks again to First Baptist Church of Orange Park for sponsoring. And we're going to cut this one and get ready for the big one. Andrew Jackson versus Reigns, the championship finale, coming up right after this.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.